Anthony. I am the Communications Officer here at the Belize Fund and MC for this afternoon. On behalf of the Belize Fund, we thank you for your presence today. To get started, we invite you to please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. I now invite Dr. Leandra Cho Ricketts, the Executive Director of the Belize Fund, to deliver welcome remarks. Dr. Ricketts, you have our attention.
All right. Thank you, Chelsea. If I sound a bit hoarse, I'm just recovering from a cold, so pardon me. And the rain is coming more. Pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I'd really like to give my thanks for you coming out in this weather. After all, we do appreciate it. And I'd like to acknowledge the members of our, the member of our Technical Committee and Board, Ms. Julianne Robinson from the Nature Conservancy. With us, I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of the Fisheries Department, Mr. Hampton Gamboa. They're saying they can't hear me. Also, acknowledging our special guests, we have with us Ms. Amanda Acosta from the Belize Audubon Society, from TASA. I did not get your name. And Mr. Asad Maganya from the Toledo Institute for Development and Environment, Mr. Joel Verde from Sartineja Alliance for Conservation and Development, Ms. Lynette Canto of the Belize Tourism Industry Association, Ms. Sheena Zuniga of the National Garifuna Council and her colleagues, and Miss Ruth Gonzalez from Humana People to People. They were special guests today. We also would like to thank the media for being here and assisting us in documenting this. So welcome, and it is my pleasure to, welcome you here. Although it's raining, it's a very scenic destination at the Roaring River Golf Course, and especially welcome to this event marking the award of several of our grant agreements and partnership, and our first, actually, strategic partnership agreement with our non-government partners. And we are very excited about these agreements because they will help us advance towards achieving our country's conservation commitments, particularly those of conserving and effectively managing 30% of our marine territory and sustainably developing our blue space. So some of the projects today are looking at development of the blue economy. So today we award several grantees here that will be contributing to solutions for coastal erosion in southern Belize, changing behaviors and perceptions about the marine environment, and innovating solutions to reduce the amount of marine plastic pollution in our waters. All these are critical interventions for achieving a thriving blue economy that places nature-based approaches for the well-being of people at its center. We're also very excited to be assigning our first strategic partnership under the Blue Bonds program. And this is with the Belize Marine Protected Area Network, or BMPAN as we call them, which is a network of 5 marine protected area co-managers. And this strategic partnership is for a long-term investment in marine protected areas to help support their core costs. Our visionary board of directors, in realizing the need to be adaptive and fit for purpose as a conservation trust fund, approved this partnership that supports MPA enforcement personnel across 9 marine protected areas, and you will hear a little bit more about which ones shortly. And the idea is to support long-term support for enforcement personnel here, as I mentioned, and we expect that with this, management effectiveness should be sustained or improved. And this strategic partnership is just the start of what we hope is to be a long and productive collaboration with the BMPAN. It is only through strong partnerships and collaborations, both between government and non-government actors, that Belize can achieve progress towards the global ambitions that are there for ocean governance. And we as in the country, Belize, can further be positioned as a global leader through the effective conservation and management of its ocean space. So we look forward to seeing these projects and this partnership being successfully implemented, and we'll be closely tracking the results of these interventions that we are awarding today. So without any further delays, I invite you to enjoy the short program we have in learning more about what these projects and partnerships are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ricketts, for your remarks and celebrating today as a step forward in protecting Belize's marine and coastal ecosystems. Next, we'll hear from Mrs. Amanda Acosta, Chair of the Belize Marine Protected Areas Network and Executive Director of the Belize Audubon Society.
Good afternoon. It seems that a cold is the theme of the day. So, protocol established, I want to thank everyone for making the time to be here today, in particular our colleagues and support system. The Marine Protected Areas Network came into existence about 2 years ago. It was the brainchild of several NGOs and led by TIDE at the time by Mrs. Celia Mahong. The Marine Protected Areas Network has actually now legally registered itself and it is composed of 5 NGOs. From the north, we have Sartaneja Conservation Development, where we're talking about Bacalar Chico Forest Reserve and Corozal Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. We come down to Turnef Atoll with the Turnef Atoll Sustainable Association. We have Belize Audubon with Lighthouse Reef, specifically Blue Hole and Half Moon Key Natural Monuments. Moving further into south, we're talking SEA, Southern Environmental Association, and ending in the south with TIDE, now managers of Sapodilla Key Reserve and Port Honduras. The funding and the project that we have today, or the strategic partnership, is one that talks about efficiencies. It talks about seascape approach. As we move forward in the funding world, the realization of us as NGOs has come that we need to be as efficient as possible, and we need to take a seascape approach to meet those larger goals that exist out there. When we start talking about species adaptive management, we need to be larger in scale than just at a protected area. So we have come together and we approached last year the Belize Fund, requesting an audience to present ourselves and our case. We are focusing for this venture, which is a 3-year venture, on efficiencies within enforcement. So not only are we looking for core support, but we will also be looking at standardization of the processes. We will be looking at, hopefully later in the project, into the middle of next year, we'll be looking at the national enforcement framework that will be in process right now, and we will be standardizing and working on implementing those measures. We'll also be looking at having everyone at par. So the idea is that we can all elevate at the same time. All 5 institutions will be functioning at the same levels when it comes to enforcement, along with our colleagues at the Fisheries Department, obviously as our counterparts. This is a very exciting venture. It's the first for us, and we are appreciative of the of the Belize Fund investing in us and investing in it. It is the first of 2. We have another hard pipeline project that is going to be slightly larger than this one, that should kick off in the latter part of this year. So it is the beginning of seeing and hearing more of the Marine Protected Areas Network, and we will also be working with our government partners as we move along, kind of starting at home, and then we are hoping to build outward. But the network is, again, really for the purposes of efficiencies. We're focusing on creating those synergies. We always talk about the strong alliances and collaborations that we have, and this is a way of creating those more formally. So we thank the network, the Belize Fund, for this opportunity, and we look forward to sharing our experiences along the way with everyone. Excuse me. With that, I just want to thank everyone again, and thank my partners for entrusting that we are here and able to get it all done. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Acosta. At this time, I invite the signing partners to join us. You have to come right up back. Yes. As they will be officially signing the strategic partnership agreement. Wow. Well, thank you very much. We're hopeful. We're hopeful that today's formalized agreement is the first of many partnerships to come. And I can stay or can go back to your seat. Our next speaker for this afternoon is Mr. Josue Oliva, Program Manager at the Belize Fund. He will share details about our newest grant recipients and projects being funded.
Thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremony. And I'm very happy to see so many familiar faces and big smiles in this room. Although it's cozy, that is what exactly we want here today, right? And coming out of our second call for proposals, there were several projects or applications, I must say, that were not ready. And that was because there were certain recommendations and changes that were asked to improve what is the impact of the project would be. And based on that, they were not able to be presented as approved projects in our last award ceremony. And therefore, in today's event, we're having 3 of them being presented here as well. So I would like to start with this project that is looking at a full circle Belize, providing biodiversity guardians against plastic pollution. This project's aim is to reshape plastic usage partners in Belize through public education, transformation of plastic waste into marketable recycled products. This project was approved to Humana People to People Belize. Let's give them a round of applause. The grant amount is for $515,000, and it is expected to be a project for 27 months. It has many goals and opportunities that would help Belize not only looking at the sea, but also inland as it relates to addressing plastic pollution. And one of the key things that I would like to mention of this project is that it aims to empower over 150 youth and adults and over 1,200 students in targeted communities with knowledge to foster environmentally responsible plastic use and disposal. I would like to invite Ms. Ruth to receive the award on behalf of Humana People to People. The other project that we want to award to today is a project with the title Developing the Next Generation of Marine Conservation. And this, my friends, is a pilot project. The goal of this project is to implement a classroom instruction package, field visits to upper division students, and training workshops for 50 tour guides from 8 communities in southern Belize to encourage increased exposure, knowledge appreciation, and interest in marine conservation by at least 25% of the 4th quarter of 2024. This project is looking at fostering new opportunities for students to venture into our environmental fields. So this project or this grant is awarded to the Belize Tourism Industry Association, and I would like to invite Ms. Lynette Canto, the Executive Director, to receive the award. The amount of the grant is for $80,029. And finally, definitely not the least, this is a project that has come a long way in its preparations. It had seen several revisions, but the key point was that we wanted to have something perfect, something that would be lasting and that can provide us with very useful information as how we safeguard our environmental livelihoods, especially looking southern Belize, and more specifically, Barranco Village. So the name of this project that we'll be awarding today is Barranco Village Erosion Study. And as in its name it says, it's a study. And the purpose of this study is to implement short, medium, and long-term remedial solutions to mitigate the erosion of the Barranco shoreline. And this grant is awarded to the National Garifuna Council. This is a project for 150,000 Belize dollars for the study. And I would like to invite Mrs. Sheena Zuniga, the President of the National Garifuna Council, to receive this grant award. And therefore, that is the end of our awards for today. And I would like, on behalf of the Belize Fund, I would like to thank the grantee partners and everyone present.
Short, right? Thank you very much, Mr. Oliva, for highlighting the significance of these funded projects. We're excited to celebrate the grantees today. So with that, I invite you to, once again, please join us in congratulating our well-deserved partners. Your stellar efforts are contributing to the marine conservation and sustainable development of Belize's ocean space. As we come to the close of this event, Mr. Jimmy Valdez, the project officer of the Belize Fund, will deliver closing remarks.
Thank you, Chelsea. Esteemed guests, awardees, representatives from the media, and partners in conservation. As we conclude this event, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you. A special thank you to our guests who have joined us today, those viewing online, and especially those who have traveled a distance to be here. To my colleagues at the Belize Fund, your dedication and hard work has made this event a success. Today, we celebrate partnership and collaboration. The signing of our strategic partnership with the Belize Marine Protected Areas Network marks a significant step forward in safeguarding Belize's precious marine environment. We are happy to learn more and support the dedication of our grantees, the National Garifuna Council, the Belize Tourism Industry Association, and Humana People to People. Their innovative projects addressing plastic pollution, empowering future conservationists, tackling erosion, and strengthening marine protection ignite hope for a brighter future for Belize's blue spaces. Together, these initiatives represent a powerful collective effort to ensure the health and sustainability of our marine ecosystem. The Belize Fund remains committed to supporting these endeavors and fostering collaboration for a long term. Let us continue on this journey where we work together, achieving tangible results for generations to come. Thank you once again for your presence and for your unwavering support of marine conservation in Belize. I wish you all a safe travel back home. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you all for being a part of this event. We invite you to join us for some refreshments and networking. This concludes our formal program.